Have you ever argued with someone, and somehow the conversation ended with you apologizing? Even though deep down, you knew you weren't wrong. Maybe you clearly remember what happened, but the other person looks you straight in the eyes and says, "That's not what happened, you're imagining things," and suddenly, something strange happens. You start questioning yourself, your memory, your emotions, even your judgment. If that sounds familiar, you may have experienced something called gaslighting. And the dangerous part is this: gaslighting doesn't destroy relationships overnight. It destroys them slowly, quietly, and psychologically. Today, we're going to break down what gaslighting really is, why manipulators use it, and how to recognize it before it slowly destroys your confidence in your relationships. Gaslighting is one of the most dangerous forms of psychological manipulation. Not because it's loud, not because it's aggressive, but because it's subtle. Many people don't realize they're being gaslighted until the emotional damage is already done. What gaslighting really is: gaslighting is when someone manipulates you into questioning your own reality. Instead of admitting their mistakes, they twist the situation until somehow you become the problem. Imagine this scenario: you bring up something that hurt you. You clearly remember what happened, but the other person immediately says, "I never said that," or "You're being too sensitive," or even worse, "You always create problems where there are none." At first, it may seem like a normal disagreement, but when this happens over and over again, something begins to change inside you. You start thinking, maybe I misunderstood, maybe I'm overthinking, maybe I really am the problem. And that's exactly what the manipulator wants. Because the moment you start doubting yourself, they gain control of the situation. Why gaslighting is so powerful? Gaslighting works because it attacks something extremely important: your sense of reality. Healthy relationships are built on trust and emotional safety. But gaslighting slowly destroys that foundation. Instead of trusting your instincts, you start trusting the manipulator's version of events. Over time, victims of gaslighting often feel confused, anxious, emotionally exhausted. Some people even stop expressing their feelings completely, because every time they speak up, they're told they're wrong. Eventually, they stop questioning things, not because everything is okay, but because they're simply too mentally drained to keep fighting. Common signs of gaslighting. Now let's talk about some clear warning signs of gaslighting. The first sign is constant denial. No matter what proof you bring up, the person refuses to acknowledge the truth. The second sign is blame shifting. Instead of addressing the issue, they turn it around and say things like, "You're the one causing problems," or "You always overthink everything." The third sign is minimizing your emotions. If you say you're hurt, they respond with, "You're too sensitive," or "It was just a joke." But the most dangerous sign of all is confusion. After conversations with them, you feel mentally drained. You replay the conversation in your mind, wondering what really happened. Healthy disagreements don't leave you feeling like that. Manipulation does. How gaslighting destroys relationships. Gaslighting doesn't just damage one conversation. It slowly damages the entire relationship. Because relationships require honesty and emotional safety. But when someone constantly twists the truth, the relationship becomes a psychological battlefield. Instead of solving problems together, one person is constantly defending their reality. Over time, the victim may start feeling lonely, powerless, disconnected from their own thoughts. And that's why gaslighting is often called the silent killer of relationships. Because damage happens inside the mind, long before anyone else can see it. How to protect yourself. The first step to protecting yourself from gaslighting is awareness. Once you understand the pattern, it becomes much harder for someone to manipulate you. Trust your memory, trust your feelings, and most importantly, pay attention to how someone makes you feel after conversations. Healthy relationships leave you feeling heard and respected. Manipulative ones leave you feeling confused and small. Your emotions are not weaknesses. They are signals, and learning to listen to those signals can protect you from people who try to control your reality. Gaslighting thrives in confusion and silence. But the moment you understand what it is, you take back something incredibly powerful: clarity. And when you see manipulation clearly, you no longer have to live inside someone else's version of reality. If you want to understand the hidden psychology behind human behavior, subscribe to Mindvault, because the most dangerous psychological games in life are the ones we don't realize are being played.